ladies and gentlemen, if you can hear my voice and if you can see our faces, then that means we are back together for another episode of Fire Pit. My name is Megan Pennington, and as always, I have my best friend Jim Skiff on the air. Devin's not with us. He's living his best life. But at any rate, Jim, how are you?
I'm doing great, Megan. I'm sorry I missed your birthday extravaganza last night. I'm sure it went great. And just want to send you a nice happy birthday wish and welcome our special guests. This evening, we have the band Tempered, a couple of representatives, Zach and Zach. And will there be anyone else joining us this evening, gentlemen?
Will's on the call as well, or bassist
Yeah,
William.
I'm right here.
Oh, there he is. Hi, Will.
Uh,
Yeah, just a little bit about the band. Tempered was founded in 2016 by Zach Geraci. Is that correct? Am I saying that right, Zach?
Geraci.
Geraci, Zach
Yeah.
Geraci,
Mhm.
and Patrick Emmerich. Zach Kane and William Bigham round out the lineup of this great alternative rock band. They embrace many influences, and but notably they rock kind of a cool and mellow Silver Sun pickups feel coupled with Nirvana style vocals and some face melting solos, I might add. Their debut album Morning Dew was released in 2018, and On the Ground on the Table was released in March of this year. I had the pleasure of sharing the stage with these guys at the Poetry Lounge for the Rockaween extravaganza, and let me tell you, they blew the roof off of that fine establishment. We're really happy to have you guys with us this evening. How are you, gentlemen?
Good, man.
I'm doing great. Yeah.
doing great. How are you doing?
Great, great to have you here. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about how you all got together in the first place?
Zach G and I were in our first ever like real band together. It was in when we were still in high school, so that was probably what did we say, Zach, like a 2011, 2012 that started.
Yeah, about around
And then
then.
we it was a yeah, it was a six piece. I was playing guitar, Zach G was singing vocals only, and then a couple other friends were in it. And right before Tempered formed, that band broke up because our guitarist decided to go to college full time and pursue his career. And then it kind of that band kind of split into two bands. And I'm in another band called Catatonia that I kind of started to form, and Zach G split off and formed Tempered with Pat. And then later asked me to join. Not much later, but a little bit after we formed it, asked me to join. And then we just kind of hit the ground running from there. That was kind of the beginnings of our thing, and went through a couple different bass changes and ended up happily finding William, holding the spot down well. So, and now we're here. Long journey, but now we're here.
Yeah, we don't know where Patrick is right now. I thought he'd be on the call.
Yeah,
That's
I
all
also
right.
thought he was
Yeah,
coming.
I guess we haven't heard from him today. I didn't really think about that earlier.
Yeah.
So, out of
Well,
who we
he
have on the call, I'm so sorry, Jim. Out of who we have on the call, who plays what? Because I listen to the music all the time, but you never really like get the full who's who until you get to have this
Yeah,
conversation.
I'm the bass player. I was not at that last show because I had another one that was booked first.
I played guitar, sing some backup vocals, and I also sing lead on a couple songs.
and Patrick is the drummer.
Patrick's the
Yeah,
drummer.
yes.
Cool.
Zach G, would you like
Yeah,
to
I
listen on
play
your
rhythm
role?
guitar and lead vocals.
Oh, cool. Right on, right on.
Who does the bulk of the songwriting for you guys?
It's actually
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Zach
do.
Geraci,
he
lead
writes the songs.
songwriter.
I really love your sound. I love the your lyrics and the way you put your music together. Do you do a lot of collaboration like in the studio, or how do you evolve the sound that our listeners are going to get to hear very soon?
Oh, well, we just I'll write something acoustic on my acoustic guitar, and I'll bring it to the band, and they'll write their parts to it. Like we all write our own parts to the songs. You know, I write like you know the the skeleton of the song, and then I'll bring it to practice, and they'll write their parts to it. Pretty much how it goes.
Parts like some parts we are like are more collaborative. Like Zach G will bring like the basis of, say, like a verse and a chorus or just a verse part, and then we'll kind of hammer out like a third part together or like whatever part that he's like. For the most part, Zach G writes the riff and then kind of brings it to the table. So,
I was just going to ask, what part of town do you guys live in? Are you all in the same area? Do you have like a central location or a studio where you work?
Well, I live in Carnegie. We practice in McKees Rocks though, and Patrick lives in South Park, right?
Nice. So, and
Mhm.
Patrick
where do
lives
you
in
record? Where's that, Zach?
Patrick lives in Baldwin.
Patrick's in Baldwin, South Hills
Yeah,
guy. Cool.
yeah.
And what do you have a studio where you work when you're doing recording? Do you do like home recording?
But we
Where's
Our
the
record.
studio is in Baldwin too.
Yeah, we work with a guy named John Stoker. We've worked with him for a long time. Both bands that I'm in, everything that we have released that I can think of offhand was done through him. He used to play, he still plays in a couple bands, but he like his main band for a long time was called Johnny and the Razor Blades. And when we were in
Yeah.
Sylvania, yeah, John, it's John Stoker from Johnny and the Razor Blades. Yeah.
Okay,
So
we
what,
worked with him. Yeah, so I'm so sorry to cut you
yeah.
off. I love those guys.
Yeah, great dude. All great guys for sure. And we met him when we were in Sylvania, so which was the first band I mentioned earlier that broke into the formation of the two bands. Um, and we played a show together, just kind of, got to be friends a little bit. And then somehow or another, we were looking for somewhere to record. And he mentioned that he has, does that for bands, does that for a bunch of bands, and started working with him. My first thing I did with him was 2017, and Tempered's first project in 2018. And it just was like a really good working environment since we were already like friends and stuff, and it was a little bit casual. And then I really liked that over the years he's only gotten like better at like his skill of like recording and mixing and stuff like that, and improved his equipment setup. And I feel like we've all gotten better as musicians and songwriters, so we had like the opportunity to like grow together on both ends, which I think really helps us have a good working dynamic together.
That's
I think
really
it's
cool.
great to have a consistent place and an engineer that you work with. Does he master your tracks for you as well?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does everything. He does everything.
That's
That's
awesome.
great. And do you have stuff that's available on vinyl or CD? Or I know you're on the streaming services, but are there other options for people?
We had CDs printed of our first record for a while. I think we're out of those right now. We kicked around the idea a bunch of times of getting vinyl pressed of the last record, but for some reason or another weren't able to. I think maybe this record, we haven't talked about it too much. I definitely like to get a vinyl press for the band. That's coming down the pipelines, but we haven't been able to do it yet.
Well, I will say that there is a really good local company that I haven't tried out myself, but I've heard nothing but fantastic things. Hellbender Vinyl. I don't know where in Pittsburgh
Oh,
they're based, but Jeff Benton is the guy that owns that company. He's also, I don't actually, I don't want to say something wrong. I don't know if he owns it or if he works with the team that does. But at any rate, he's with them. I've worked with him because DI Records worked with Misra, the recording label, who he's also affiliated with. Really good place to go for vinyls, and I believe they also just offer like studio time too. So I would check that out. So you don't have to go too far. Because my other recommendation, unfortunately, is in Brooklyn, New York, which is great, but I don't know if you guys are
hmm.
willing to travel that far.
I think
Um,
we already did that once.
did you guys do the least of all?
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah, we did
That's
do
a good
Least of All one
experience.
time. Mhm.
That's a really good
It's a great
experience.
experience. Yeah. I was fortunate enough to get to do it in both bands. I've got to go out there twice. They're such nice people to work with, and like
Yeah,
the technology they're using is so interesting. They give you a little rundown of like what they're cutting their records on. I think that like direct to vinyl thing is just a really
yeah,
cool way to go about it,
absolutely. And
It's a lot of fun.
I don't know if you guys had a chance to work with her, but Liz Victory is an employee up at Least of All now. She used to be a Pittsburgh musician here and was a big
Ah,
proprietor of the Ham Bones open mic, and she would host the Art House open mics. A really, really good person and a good ally to have within the scene that's now up there. And both times I went, I got to see her. And just knowing that we have these good-hearted people that were in our scene that have now gone to other scenes to provide that same level of love is truly special. So I'm so glad that you guys got to share that experience as well. But speaking of experiences and really dope ass music, I think it's time we listen to one of these songs. We've got three we're talking about tonight. What do you want to spin first? And tell me how it came to be.
Okay, yeah. Why don't we start out with "Shred It"? I think that's a great introduction to what these guys do. It's a hell of a track. Uh, why don't you tell us a little bit about how it came about?
sure. Zach, would you like to start on that one?
Yeah. Well, Zach came through a little issue.
Yeah, I guess so. How do
Uh,
I put this in an interesting way or in a podcast friendly way?
Well, let me just say before you say anything, we don't care. Let it out.
Okay, yeah, I went to a music festival and had an extreme psychedelic experience, we'll say.
Nice,
Mhm.
nice.
Yeah,
wasn't
a
that
very extreme psychedelic experience that unfortunately, like I'm not out here trying to like sell that sort of thing to anyone, you know. I have had a lot of good experiences doing that. I've never done it to like an all the time level, but the times that I have done it, I've had a really good experience doing it. Except for that one time, which unfortunately was like really chaotic. And then I also was like a cannabis user, not so much anymore for a long time, but mainly because of that. Because for some reason after that experience, when I would, it would cause me like really intense amounts of anxiety. And I was like explaining how that felt to Zach G, and then Zach G wrote this song about that.
That's kind of really interesting because I mean, Jim and I are also familiar with experiences like that, and to have somebody be able to write that into words, you know, that's one of those things you'll tell people, oh, hey man, you don't know what it's like till you've been there, but like you guys figured out the way to explain that to people who've never been there, and I'm really excited for this. I don't know about you, Jim.
Right.
Oh, I am. And that line, "It's so complicated," shows up several times during that song, and I think that kind of sums it up, and also our particular situation that we find ourselves in the United States right now. And I love really the really psychedelic, cool shredding solo, and the drum, the toms, just the way this whole track is put together. And that really sheds a whole new light on it when I understand where you were coming from when you were trying to put this together. So I think we should give our listeners an opportunity to listen to Tempered Shred It.
I agree. Let's give it a spin, y'all.
It's cold outside. I am barely breathing. It's high up my life. Now it's misbehaving. Flying satellites. Now I think I'm addicted. Well, that's alright. I'll just keep abusing. Endless night, while you very bright. Endless night, while you very bright. It's so complicated when I'm this way. It's so complicated when
folks, that was Tempered with their song Shredded. We're hanging out with the band. Guys, quality music, quality song. Let's talk about the stage presence. I'm in a band, Moonshine Jasmine, and I am kind of learning the ropes on how to be a front man. I've always kind of been the rhythm guitarist that plays guitar, and kind of I hide behind my guitar. So how do you guys convey the excitement and the love of music? What are you guys doing on stage to keep the people interested in what you've got going on stage?
Well, I think Zach G is our most charismatic stage persona at this point, so I'd like to let him start by answering that question. I do have a few things to say about it as well, though, but Zach G should take it away on this one.
I don't know. I just do what I feel, really. I just think that things I do that are entertaining or entertain people.
I feel it
Hey.
when it comes, and enjoy the moment as it lasts. I can dig it. I can dig it. Are you like a dancing type lead singer, or do you kind of like do it with your voice? Like,
I sort of dance,
right
I
I
on.
think he's
guess.
got some great moves, and he interacts really well with the audience and with his bandmates. They kind of play off each other, they feed into each other, and their stage show is extremely entertaining. And I really enjoyed them at the Poetry Lounge, and I hope I get a chance to see him again real soon.
Yeah, I'm sad I
Yeah,
missed
Um,
you guys there.
how
I enjoyed
about
your set a lot too, by the
oh,
way. I
thank you.
enjoyed your songs a lot too. It was really cool to see you. I really
Oh,
liked
thank
it.
you very much. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a nice stage, great sound
It's a
system,
good spot.
and it really rocked, that whole night.
Yeah.
And there was a couple other great bands. There was one from Ohio, Hard Hat,
Mhm.
and JBB band, and everybody kicked ass. It was really, really a stellar show.
Yeah.
I'm interested in your name, Tempered. When you hear Tempered, you think of something that might have been like uh, baked over the fires of life, or something, or steel. We're definitely a steel town. Is there kind of that vibe involved in the creation of your name, and where did
Yeah,
it come from?
for sure. That, yeah,
I think something. Oops, sorry, Zach G.
with the steel like getting hot, and then like the songs are like, the verses are clean a lot of the times for songs, and then the choruses have like a power to it and have like a hard hitting. So it's like steel,
I
you want
also
Yeah.
think that something that Zach G does a lot that I really like and admire and almost try to take into my own songwriting outside of the band is Zach G likes to leave things open for like interpretation a lot of times when he writes lyrics or when he writes other things. So that way, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Zach G, but I've heard you say this before. So that way, like you can, a listener or anyone can like listen to the song or look at the name or look at the imagery from the band, whatever, and kind of apply their own meaning to it. And, it gives them their own personal feel for the song or the art so that they can connect to it. And also when it's written openly like that, it's not like there's less room to tell them like, no, that's not what it means. It means this. It's okay that it means that to you. Whatever you're getting from it, in
exactly,
my
yeah.
opinion, it's just as real as whatever we're putting into it. We can all connect to it in our own
Hmm.
way if it's a little bit more undefined,
Yep,
you know?
he's
That
right.
that's a really beautiful concept. A lot of times artists will put so much into this songwriting, and it's a very good thing to have in your songwriting. But they put so much into it that it's almost a habit that we have, that we feel it necessary to tell the story before every song. And I've noticed a lot of like solo artists especially will do this, where they'll just like spend so much time trying to tell you exactly what this means, and so you exactly feel the exact moment in time or history. So being able to like write something that's a little more open-ended, to be able to speak to a wide audience, is really an admirable trait to have as a songwriter. And I'm happy to hear that you guys have been able to grasp that. And it shows not only in the lyrics, but it shows in the instruments as well. All around there's a very quality sound, a very clean sound coming from you guys, and I really respect that.
Yeah, thanks a lot to Zach G's hard work and writing style. I mean, there's nothing wrong with anybody's approach to music. Art's
No.
art. Like, if you want to write a song about very particular moments in time, that's totally cool. I think we just kind of like liked that approach in other music that we found, so I thought it would be cool to kind of channel that into our own
Right.
music.
Right, absolutely. And you guys executed so well.
I like the subliminal
Thank you so much.
aspect of writing lyrics, how it has a mystery behind it sometimes.
Yeah.
There might be a song I can write that, you know, someone will listen to it, like this song doesn't have a meaning to it, but it actually does, you know. It's
Right.
funny, you know what I mean? Like, do you ever listen to REM, Losing My Religion? A lot of people think that song doesn't have a meaning to it, but it does.
Zach has a lot of chaos in his lyrics, but once you start to get to know him, you kind of get certain parts of the lyrics revealed to you as to what they mean. And it's kind of cool being a part of that.
I love that. Real quick, I'd like to say hello, Patrick. This is Patrick,
Hi,
another
I
member
just
of
got
the.
connected. I was having some issues. It was crazy, but I got figured out, so we're
We're
good.
so glad you're here. Glad you had time to hang out with us tonight. We're just talking
Thank you.
about you guys and getting to know y'all because we're big fans of the music. We got to hear Shredded already, which was an incredible track.
Nice. Thank you.
So yeah, absolutely. Jim, let's lay down some more questions. You're like the master interviewer here.
Uh, I, I'm not going to jump on that. I could say something, but my question is about lyrics. Do the lyrics come first? Does the music come first? Do they come together? Is there like a general process, or is it different every time for you guys?
Music first. I'll write
Pretty much.
I'll write the guitar part on the acoustic guitar, and then I'll think of a melody for the lyrics. And even like sometimes we even like sometimes we like jam a little bit as a band. Like we'll come up with something, you know, and I'll like hum like a melody of some whatever I want to sing through the mic while we're jamming. But music's always first.
That's
A
so
lot of
interesting.
times, a lot of times we'll have Zach will come with an idea. Like he'll play something that he's been toying with a little bit, maybe here and there, and then he'll show it to us, and we kind of just like jam on it for a little bit. And then if something kind of sprouts from it, we'll start to progress on the idea a little bit more. And it eventually turns into something that's kind of like it initially starts from one of his ideas, just a toying idea.
Wow. I find that so fascinating because with my guys, I'll write the song. I'll even write like the guitar parts for it, and then I'll shop it to them and say, "Hey, here's
Hmm.
a song. What do you guys think? Do with it what you want." And then we toy with it from there. Sometimes it won't even be what I show them originally. It'll still have the same lyrics, of course, but like it's. I love hearing the different processes of different bands because personally, if I don't have lyrics, I'm lost. I can't write music at all. So kudos to you for that. We're talking about more music though, so let's talk about the second song, "Crazy Me." Did I read that right?
Crazy Girl. Crazy
Crazy
Girl.
Girl. Sorry, well, yeah, crazy me. I
Yeah.
am the crazy girl. That was so. Oh,
I
it's
thought you
ironically
were I
hysterical.
thought you were making a joke there at
No,
first
no,
because
I
that was like
wasn't, but I'm gonna say I was just for the sake of that misspeak. That's so funny. Crazy girl. Let's talk about it.
Well, it's another rocking love song, and it has another really killer guitar solo, really iconic vocals, that classic alt rock vibe. And I just wonder, was there a special or specific crazy girl you were thinking about when you wrote this song,
Oh
or is
yeah,
it generalized? Well,
crazy in a
let's
good
hear
way.
about it.
Yeah, crazy in a good way.
You want to tell them the rest of it?
yeah. You want to give them a little more on
Talk
that?
about that.
Crazy in a good way could mean a lot of things.
I wrote that song in like 2012. That was one of the first Sylvania songs we ever wrote in that band. Sylvania. That song was originally a Sylvania song.
Nice.
Yeah, it was about Zach G's. I don't mean to speak for him, but he doesn't seem to elaborate too much. It's about one of his first early love interests, and it did carry over from our first band. It was a song we wrote way back then that we just, I don't know, it just always stuck around. It's got like such a simple, like, but like catchy way about it, that like it kind of hung in our minds. And then Zach G eventually decided he was like, hey guys, we should try this song out in this band. And it's kind of really cool to reform some of those songs from like when we were younger because they like end up living such like a long life that like I didn't expect. Obviously, in the first band, I'd hoped that we would make a bunch of records and get to do all that, but it didn't go that way. But after that falling apart, some of these songs get to live such a long life that we didn't really expect when the first band fell apart. So it's really interesting to get them bring back around that way.
Awesome. I love a good revamp to an old song. I've done that quite a few times myself. So Let's go ahead and take a listen to it, y'all. Here comes Tempered with their song Crazy Girl.
You're my crazy girl. You're my crazy world. You're my crazy everything. You're my crazy girl. Got me waiting, and I don't mind. You're my everything. You struck me lately, so I'll keep saying you got me crazy, girl. In this lonely world, sit and stare from far. Beautiful to why I can't see the in this lonely world. You're my crazy girl. Good night, crazy girl. Please don't leave my side. You got me waiting, and I don't mind. You're my everything. You struck me lately, so I'll keep saying you got me crazy, girl.
Folks, that was Crazy Girl, Not Crazy Me by Tempered. We're hanging out with the guys, having a good time. Always smiles, always laughs. Really happy we've had time with you guys tonight. Before we let you back out into the wild, we got to know, what are the future shows? Where can we find you guys online?
Well, the next show is the day before Thanksgiving at Club Cafe, and that's more than likely going to be our last show there.
Ah, that's my birthday. I'll have to stop down and have a drink with you.
It's
Oh,
most
that'd be
people's
pretty
last
great.
shows there, actually.
Yeah,
true.
It's not gonna be
Yeah,
our last
unfortunately,
There will be
show.
more
It's
shows
not
there
gonna be
after
our last
that.
show at that venue.
I
Yeah.
think I
Yeah.
got tagged on to the last one on December 21st. They asked
Okay.
me
Oh,
to
that's
come hang out.
awesome in a way.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
also sad that they're leaving. So November
Where's the
27th,
last show?
head to the Club Cafe. I think it's
December
December
21st.
21st.
Oh, okay.
Yes, go see Tempered November 27th. Hopefully I'll be able to stop down and grab a drink. What about social media? Do we got Spotify? What do we got going on there?
Yeah, we're on every streaming platform, and we're also on Instagram and Facebook. Just Tempered Band, right? Or is it Tempered PGH? I don't remember.
Tempered Band. Tempered Band.
Tempered
Also,
Band.
don't
Right
we
now,
we have a TikTok too, but we don't.
Yeah, we
we're not
do. We
super
don't use it
active on
very
it.
often, but you can follow us on TikTok.
Okay, cool. I will certainly follow you guys on TikTok. I'm trying to do the same. I'm not good at it either, but I'll give you a
Stop.
follow. That's so funny. Before we go, Jim, do you have any final questions to grill them with? Mm.
Oh, well, I'd like to talk about this last song that we're gonna play. It's right-handed. Now, there's also a song called left-handed on the same album, and I was just wondering, do you guys switch your guitars around and play left-handed and right-handed? And what's the story? Are you ambidextrous?
No,
I
we
might
just thought
start
it'd be
switching my
cool.
guitar around just for the bit. Now that we've learned that that's the bit, I might start playing left-handed,
I
just for
tried that
for
once
one
and it gave
song.
me a migraine.
It is good. I like it.
Yeah, no, we're
And
all right-handed musicians, I believe. I'm predominantly left-handed in writing and stuff, but like more guitars are made right-handed. Left-handed guitars are harder to find, as most people might know, and like it just kind of came about to be that way. I don't remember why we ended up naming those songs those things. I remember that like I think Left-Handed was named was the first to be called that, right? And then didn't we
That's
call
right.
Right-Handed because we wanted to start the album with left-handed, end it with right-handed. I think that was
Yeah,
just
pretty
it just kind
much.
of we thought that'd be kind
Yeah,
of
the
fun,
name's a joke. Left-handed is called that because it's sounds a little off. That's the only reason. And the song is named after that because it's the closer.
Well, you wrote that one with the lyrically.
Me?
Yeah, that came.
Yeah, you wrote the lyrics to the verses, and I
Well,
wrote the chorus.
well, you wrote your we both wrote our respective lyrics on it because I do a little like spoken word part in the middle of it, and you had written your lyrics
No,
on it. And
I'm
you
talking about
He means left-handed.
left-handed.
oh yeah, okay. Yeah,
Right-handed
true.
I
I
wrote.
kind of forgot about that, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
well, there
I
there
did
is
write the
some
lyrics to left-handed.
there is some spoken word in right-handed as well, which I kind of dug. The it has kind of it opens with kind of an expansive shoegazy atmospheric kind of vibe. It's a little different from the other tracks, which I really enjoyed. And then you do go into some spoken word stuff. Why don't you talk about how that song was put together?
Put
Well,
together. Well, go ahead, Zepti.
well, uh, I don't know. I don't really want to talk about what I wrote that about. Go ahead, you talk, say it, man.
Okay, I don't know what Zach T wrote that song about, to be honest. I don't remember. It kind of took on a different meaning for me. He had that riff for like a really long time. It just didn't come together. And then we were roommates for Zach T and I were roommates for a really long time. And one day he just sat down on the couch and I picked up and we played on acoustic guitar and got that really together at that point. I don't know what Zach T wrote it about. But for some reason, just the vibe the song gave me, and this part, like, we're more than just friends, that part. I kind of, this is gonna sound, I don't know, kind of corny, but I like wrote my spoken word parts about like the power of like deep running friendship and like people like, loving each other and being together, as corny as that sounds, because that's kind of what I picked
Seems
up
like
on
it's
some
the
of the
theme.
lyrics, even though that's
Yeah, it's pretty
wasn't
much.
exactly what Zach G intended. And
Yeah.
I just a lot of my friends, including this band, my other bands, a lot of my friends are based around music, but I've known most of them for over 10 years now, so they become like more family than anything else and really like deep and important parts of my life, and sometimes it's hard to like maintain those just because of life and people grow and change, and you end up having to like learn how to like work with that growth and change interpersonally when you start becoming friends when you're like 14 and you don't know who you are, and then you stay friends until you're in your late 20s, so you kind of figure out how to like develop together and learn how to work with each other no matter what. And I think that like staying friends for that long and being able to stay close to that long is like a really powerful thing. So I wrote those poetry parts about kind of the feeling of that, I guess.
Well, I
Well,
think
I
that's
don't think that's a corny message at all, given the state of our nation and the world right
Hmm.
now. I think we all need a little more love, peace, and togetherness. And
Preach.
it's a beautiful message. Excuse me. It's a beautiful message and a beautiful song. What do you
I
think,
agree.
Megan?
I agree. I think it's a beautiful message. I think you guys got the right stuff going on. Whatever it is, you guys got it. The music is great. The message is even better. And hanging out with you guys has been nothing short but totally fun. I'm really glad we got to do this. I hope we get to work together in person soon. My band loves to collab with people, and the show here, we do live shows and more podcast stuff. So you've got our contact. Don't lose it. I think with this, though, we are going to say goodbye to you guys and listen to Right Handed with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you for tuning in for Fire Pit, both video and audio. We'll see you next Monday when we drop all the stuff. Until then, here comes right-handed by Tempered. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay safe, but most importantly, everybody, peace and love. I'll see you next time.
Was a witless battle of silver linings, in which I suggested at least I still have you. You're more than my friend, we're more than just friends. Protested with baby, nothing built here stays. It all goes away. You're more than my friend, we're more than just friends. But bound and arrested, my so-called friends protested. I couldn't stay if you went away, and love never changed.